Hey everyone, welcome to another home buying episode. It has been quite a while clearly since our last update, and we've actually moved in, as you can probably see behind us. It's been a long time. We've done a lot of work to this house and made it our home since we've moved in. It's been a really good and pleasant journey along the way. Some stressful times as well with moving and decorating, of course, as is always the case, but we are on top of it now and we're ready to share with you guys our positive and great experience in doing so. Please consider liking the video, guys. It really helps out the channel, and consider subscribing to the channel as well. It's been a fantastic journey to bring you over the last couple of months or so, and I'm going to hand over now so you can see our plan of action.
So what we're going to do is break it down room by room, giving you a bit of information of what we kind of walked into, what the house looked like when we came into, what each room looked like when we first started renovating, and then our decisions along the way, some of which have changed massively, some have kind of gone to plan, and then the kind of tools that we used to help us decide what we wanted to do. And of course the after photos, which is what everyone wants to see. So first of all, the kitchen. I mean, from all the houses that we looked at, it has the biggest kitchen that we saw. Some houses did have kind of cubby hole kitchens, which isn't what we personally were after. We wanted a bit more space. So the kitchen is something that really drew us to this house. However, there was however, the colour scheme wasn't to our taste. It was bright orange, which is, you know, everybody each to their own, but for us personally, we kind of just wanted to keep it plain, and wanted to concentrate on other aspects of the kitchen to make it really pop. So what we did first was we kind of sanded down any kind of bumps in the walls, and then we did a fresh coat of paint. We had to coat, I think, maybe 5 different times, just to get rid of this bright orange wall, and we just covered it in paint, and then I think we ended it with, was it diamond paint, which basically gave it that seal, so
seals it against being stained.
And you can wipe that as well. I think we just got it from Homebase, so it's really helpful, especially on the splashback area of the hob, because you can just wipe it clean. Another thing we did in the kitchen, we focused, I will show you a little picture now of the coffee station area, or where we wanted the coffee station area to be. So we're very big coffee drinkers, and also hot chocolate. I would say hot chocolate drinkers as well.
Yeah, sure.
So we really wanted to invest some time into making a little coffee station, and there's tons of ideas on Pinterest. I really enjoyed using Pinterest throughout our experience in renovating the house. I went a bit overboard, and there are some ideas that we'll probably use in the future house as well, you know, our next purchase. I mean, this is going to be a few years, but you know, some decisions we've had to make regarding to how much money we're going to put into the house renovating it, and how much money we should just save and reinvest into our next property, and then do that a bit better, you know. I will explain as we go along. So we turned the side of the kitchen sink into our coffee station, and I think I bought the wood panel from the range. It was super cheap, and I think one morning I just grabbed the saw and just sawed it into size, and then sanded over it and sealed it with some wood stain. And that's kind of just, it was super cheap, but it's so effective just to have that kind of floating shelf above the coffee station to carry all of your kind of tea bags, coffee, sugar, or anything like that. It's just out of the way, and it keeps the surface kind of clear of all of that. And also you can use baskets as well on that shelf. And then our coffee set, we had Delange, I think, but that was mainly, there's some really super good ones out there. I think we managed to get it in a sale, and we just looked at the reviews, so we're enjoying it for us. We decided to do I think it's called bean to coffee, or something along those lines, where you
like,
have to, sorry.
Go on.
Where we have to, you have just the ground coffee and you have to kind of froth the milk yourself. It's kind of barista style, but you can get just pods if you want those kind of coffee machines with different types of pods. But we really like frothing the milk. We feel really like we're Starbucks or Costa or something, but better.
Better indeed.
So that's our coffee station. Here's an after picture. And the last thing we added to the kitchen was under cabinet LED lights. And these are really effective, they're not that expensive, and we've just put them underneath the cabinet to bring some light, and ours is remote control, so you can turn it on and off, you can change the colour, things like that. So here's a picture just to show you the effectiveness.
So moving on nicely to the lounge, when we first walked in, this had dark grey wallpaper on it, and I started picking at it within 5 minutes of being in the property. We hadn't even like set up a bed yet, we hadn't set up food, had a cup of tea, and I'd already started picking at this wallpaper because I really didn't like it. We like light and airy, and that was the first target on our list of things to do. We stripped the wallpaper, or should I say my mum kindly stripped the wallpaper, and then we got to work on gap filling all the holes that had been left by the previous owners where they'd taken their shelves down. And we also flipped which side we had the TV on, so they had it on one side where the SCART lid was. We flipped it to the other side. We don't need a SCART lid because we're too busy using Netflix, Disney Plus and Amazon Fire Stick to have regular TV. So we just filled that hole in and moved the TV over to the other side of the room, which allowed us to have the sofa where we wanted it. There's a real big contrasting difference between where we took the property over from with dark grey to where it is now, which is all light grey, bright white walls and then light grey furnishings. We also decided to do away with the blinds that were in the lounge, and we put our own navy blue curtains up, a colour that we both really like. We also changed the light fitting. It was dangling down from the ceiling so far that I kept banging my head on it all the time,
everyone else,
and so did all of our visitors. I'm not the tallest person in the world, I don't even break 6 foot, and I was clanging my head off it, and yet all our guests were doing exactly the same, which some of them shorter than I am. We changed to quite a nice bright chandelier from now on, which was a little bit tricky to fit, but we got it all sorted in the end and got rid of the dangling down light set, so to speak. And then just behind us there, because we are sat in the lounge, you can see the pantry, or the pantry door should I say, and we've started to use that for storage of some of our spare food, stocking up ready for winter supplies, or God forbid should the pandemic kick off again, we've got enough food in there, plenty to last, and that's where the electricity supply and meter is as well.
So upstairs we decided to paint the walls of the master bedroom again, going from grey to kind of white. This is the theme of our house. It is plain, but we decided to really highlight different features through colour of our furniture rather than on the walls. That's just our preference. So again, we decided to go kind of goldy beige in the bedroom, a nice neutral tone. I feel, for me, it feels when you get into bed it's relaxing and you can settle down quite nicely. And that's really all we kind of did in the bedroom.
Yeah, so moving on to the ensuite then, this was a big bone of contention with us because initially we really wanted to just rip it out because it was so grim in there. We just wanted to rip it out, replace it, and obviously that would cost us a decent amount of money to do so. So ultimately in the end what we decided to do, because we didn't really want to spend so much, is we just decided to go after the fixtures and fittings. So we replaced all the seals around the shower, the door seals, the door handles. We took the cabinet off the wall that fell onto my foot and broke my foot. Yeah, nice one, that one. Yeah, I probably broke one of my toes doing that, falling. But we replaced that with a nice plush white cabinet, and then we put an under the sink cabinet in as well, which really changed the look of the bathroom. And then we added our own furniture in there, freshened up the ceiling as well, and just gave it a real good clean. And that involved at one stage me putting Coca-Cola down the toilet to get the grimness that was the toilet off, and it came up really well. So there's a bit of a top tip for you: forget the bleach, buy a £1 2 litre bottle of cheap Coca-Cola, leave it there for a day, and then it all comes off an absolute charm. And then that has really brought the standard of the ensuite bathroom right up, and we really now just think that we don't need to do anything. It is perfectly serviceable how it is, and we don't have to spend a great deal of money any further on that like we otherwise would have.
So our spare room, we've decided to do a walk-in wardrobe, mainly because we've got a load of clothes, I think, and it all needs organising. It's still ongoing, okay, mainly my clothes, but it's still an ongoing project for us, so unfortunately we can't really give you a great before and after photo. I think the before would definitely look better at the moment, so you know, stay tuned for that, and
it's the stuff room at the moment.
we'll update you. It's Max's room.
It's Max's room,
so
yeah.
She has we have the vivarium in there for Max at the moment, as well as a rail of clothes. So it's not that great. We're not going to show you that just yet, but we'll definitely show you on a different video.
And just to let you know, Max is our leopard tortoise that we have if you're brand new here and haven't seen before, and she has a fantastic Instagram page that you can get at Maximu the tortoise. Check it out, it's really, really good. Moving on to the main bathroom then, this was another super easy one to do really. We've kind of left it almost exactly how it was. The bath has stayed, the bathroom, the toilet has stayed, the sink has all stayed. But what we have done is change the fixture and fitting. So Meg and her dad fitted a brand new shower head, which actually looks really, really good and is far better, far superior to the old one. Then we gave it a good paint, obviously, as you do, to freshen it up, both the ceiling and the walls. Again, we went for a crisp neutral white colour to set off the fixtures that we've got in there. And then we added our own rugs, a new toilet seat, just the odd little bits that again really help the bathroom out without spending an absolute fortune on ripping it out and replacing it. Moving on finally then to the front and the back garden. The front garden, when we moved in, had a ton of ivy in. It was climbing up the side of the house. It ran all the way under the window, and there was the remnants of a big conifer tree as well. And then down on the other side, which was a patch of land that we didn't even realise we owned at the initial start of it, that had a load of ivy creeping up and going over the fence as well. Since we've moved in, we've ripped all of that out. It is completely gone and been raked over. It's been done in stages, and then we've completely dug it all out, dug the roots out as well, and just thrown some grass seed on, and hopefully over the next few months or so the grass seed will come through and it'll just be a nice grass patch. And then we've put a bed in under the windowsill where all of this ivy once was, just to have some nice little flowers in front of it, and Meg's roses as well, which is hopefully going to eventually climb up the side of the door, but much more manageable than the out of control, I would say, ivy in the first place. And then in the back garden, we haven't really changed a great deal landscape wise. We still have the decking, we still have the pergola and the grass. But what we have done is renew the hanging baskets that we've got and the beds. We've planted some new beds in there, renewed some pots along the fence line as well, which we'll have some really nice photos of. So since we took ownership of the property, obviously the decking area and the pergola area was left completely bare by the previous owners, no problem with that. So we've had to start going and looking at our own things. So we bought ourselves a lovely bistro set to really try and create an outdoor space out there. And then over the long term, and a nice project for ourselves, we're going to build a sofa out of old pallets and really obviously go full out with it. But we really didn't see the point in spending so much money on furniture that ultimately we were then going to have to replace when we move house anyway. The bistro set can stay, but when we move house we'll probably have a bigger patio area, which will mean we'll need a bigger sofa set. So it might be nice just to have a custom made from old pallets sofa for now, with obviously the pillows on it to make it comfortable as well. And then we're going to build ourselves a little barbecue and pizza oven area as well, looking down the garden.
We'll definitely as well do a video on the pallet sofa and how we build it and how we go about it, just because I think anyone can do it, and especially if you're on a budget as well. I will keep you updated.
And that nicely brings us to an end of this update video. Thank you very much for watching, guys.
stay tuned as well, because we'll definitely keep you updated, and we promise we won't leave it as long this time.
It's definitely not going to be 2.5 months, hopefully.
We've
been so busy. We do apologise for that one. I know I've been managing to keep up with the investing side of things in dividends and whatever, but between us we've both been very busy with our work as well, so these videos are a little bit harder to come by, but we promise we will update you more often than 2.5 months in the future. Hopefully we'll see you in our next episode, or if not, I'll see you on the dividend bloodhound investing side of things. Catch you later.
See you later.